y'all, it's Shannon from Creative Chaos in Tennessee, and today I am back with video 2 in my series of flowers on the cheap, and my Copycat flowers. These are my flowers that I'm going to be using today. These came from Hobby Lobby, and they were like $7.99. Let's see. I can't find the paper, but I think it said it had 8 pieces in it. I think. Or 4. I don't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It had 5 pieces in it, I think. Or maybe it was 8. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, you only got 2 of these big sunflowers in it. They counted each one of these leaves as a piece, which, in my opinion, it's not worth it. But I wanted to show how we could make Copycat flowers on the cheap, hopefully using up what you have, or being able to use your Cricut. I cut these out on my Cricut, and I just went with the basic shape. That's when I'm recreating any flower, that's what I do. I just look at the basic shape of the petals. These have, you know, a rounded petal, but then they kind of come to a point. And these have 8 petals on them. And then they just did 2 layers and then the leaf. These are an 8-petaled flower that I cut out on Cricut. And pretty much, just to get them to look like that, because I just had to find a basic shape that had 8 petals. And it was kind of the same. I just cut in on these. And that pretty much gives me my petals that I need. Okay, so on these, they had these brown centers. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but I didn't have, I had these, and this is just little, oh my gosh, the word just went right out of my brain. Stamens, there we go. Flower stamens, that you can buy at Hobby Lobby, probably Walmart. Sometimes they're in the bridal section. And I didn't have the exact color. So I had pink ones, and that's all I had for these small ones that kind of resembled it. So I just used this slate alcohol ink to color them. I literally just spread them out on like an envelope and then just poured it on and then kind of moved them around to get it to soak up the color. So then I took and just put a bunch together and took hot glue and squirted it on the center and did this with my hand. Be very careful if you're using hot glue, because it will burn you if you're using high temps. But that pretty much gives me my flower center. Okay, this is my version of it. This was my first try to make it like this one. And it's cute, but I feel like since I don't have as dark a color for the center, that it didn't, I don't know, it didn't look full. You could also use different shades of yellow. You know, you could even go with orange. Sorry. And get whatever color sunflower you're going for. On my second attempt, I did take some ink and I just blended in the center to get the brown, because I felt like it looked more realistic as a sunflower. So let's just make one. So pretty much you're just going to need 2 petals, and I just took some ink and a little dauber. I'm just using this Exclusive Inks Desert Sand, close to my heart. This is, I probably got this, I don't even know how many years ago. It's probably at least 14 years old. It's hard to get open. Okay, but this is when they still flipped around. It's still very juicy, as you can tell. It just got all over my finger. But to be 15 years old, that's awesome. I have the whole set when they used to do the Hostess Club rewards. No, I do not sell close to my heart. But I know people who do if you need somebody. And I pretty much just put this on. Now, normally I use my Distress Oxides for everything. But since we're going to be adding water to this flour, that does not work. You have to actually use a different type of ink that doesn't mix with water. Because when you add the Distress Oxides, as soon as you spray water, like, it's going to cause it to pull up and come off. So you won't have your color there that you need. So I'm only going to do it on one of them since they're going to be layered up. And so then all I'm going to do is take water and I'm going to spray it. And I also like to do the back side of it just to get it to soak in. And then I am pretty much just going to fold them up. Because if you notice, let me dry my hands a little bit. If you notice in these, it has like little ridges in the petals. So, what I like to do is just fold them and then fold them again as much as you can and just squish them up together. And since they're wet, they do hold pretty good. You could spray them a few times to get them, you know, getting the paper moldable, but you could spray it a little bit more. You can always hit it with the heat gun, but what I like to do is just take and squeeze them all up together like this and then just let them dry naturally. And I will show you in just a minute because I prepared some in advance so that I wouldn't have to wait on dry time. Because it can take a few minutes to dry. Like I said, you can hit it with your heat gun and it will usually, this is like thick cardstock that I cut them out of. So it takes a little bit to get the water to soak into the paper. But pretty much I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fold it and then squish. I know, such technical terms. Hopefully I'm on camera and y'all can see what in the world I'm doing. I would love to see your flower creations. I'm actually getting ready to go to the sunflower field that blooms. It's like acres and acres and acres. We went, I think, 3 years already. It's about 30 minutes away, but it's like on both sides of the road. It's nothing but sunflowers as far as you can see, and it is gorgeous. And I love going there, and we do family pictures usually every year. Okay, so this one's all squished up. I'm just going to set it aside to let it have time to dry. Let me get a paper towel and dry up my little bit of water here. Okay. Now, I already did some. These are the ones that was squished up. I added ink, as you can tell. So, to get this look, so that it's not as compacted, I just like to go back in and just kind of pull them apart. And fold them back out. And since they're dry, and you let them dry while they were wet, it helps hold the little crinkly shape. So, I do have my hot glue gun plugged up. I do like to use a hot glue gun. You could use tacky glue to help hold them together. But I like using hot glue because it's a lot faster. You don't have to wait on dry time and holding them together and all that good stuff. So pretty much you can tell that you have the little creases in it now. So before I take and glue this one onto this one, I'm going to go ahead and put my center in. So like I said, I just gathered up a bunch of these little individual ones, and I put them all together, and I'm not going to do a whole one, but I lined them up so that they was somewhat even, and then I just take my glue gun and I just squirt a little bit of glue on there, and then I'm just really careful. I let it cool for just a second, and then I roll them together to give me this. Then I take this and I cut it in half. And this one has a lot in it just because I wanted the center to be full like this one is. So I have this now. So all I'm going to do is take and poke a hole. Just take any sharp tool will be fine, a pair of scissors, whatever, and just pop a hole through it. And I run the whole thing through since I have such a fat pile of these so that it'll go through. Okay, and I might have to run my scissors through. Okay, so that it can go through. And then pretty much all I'm going to do is take some hot glue. Now be careful if you're using hot glue because you will get burned up. Especially if you're using high temp because it gets really hot. Okay, so then pretty much I'm just adding on some hot glue. I like to rub it in it a little bit. And then I pretty much just push this through as far as I want it to be. And then you can just spread this out. And then you have your center. Okay, and then I usually just give it just a minute to cool off so that you can trim it. Or you can always, do this. Sometimes I do that. I press it up a little bit just so that the center grabs a hold of all the little things so that whenever you trim it, you don't lose any. Okay, and it's cooled off enough. You can tell the glue's getting white. I've got glue strands everywhere. And for glue strands, and if you didn't watch my last video, you can hit it with the hot glue gun and it will take them all off without having to pull off each little glue strand. Okay, so then you have your center. So then pretty much you're just going to add some glue on this one, and then you are going to alternate the petals just a little bit and press it down. And then you have your sunflower. And then you add your leaf. I'm just going to press a little bit more. Uh-oh, I pulled one out. Okay. Refluff this. I'm going to get rid of some of the glue strands. Okay. And just gluing that in first, all it does is just help pretty much hide the bottom of that so that you don't have, I'm going to add a little bit more glue to hold it down on this side, so that you don't have it sticking out of the bottom so that you have a flat surface to glue your flower to. Now, I might show in another video, I'm not going to do it in this one because I don't have it ready, but putting them on a stem. You can easily put any of these on a stem and display them in a vase. I did my daughter's Sweet 16 party flowers. I made vases and they're all falling out now. I don't have it glued good enough around the bottom, but it's okay. But I did vases of them and it was beautiful. I did them in black and pink and white, and I wish I could find pictures of that and I would show you, but I don't know that I could because that was a long time ago. But yeah, it's easy to put them on a stem. And like I said, you could even add even more if you wanted them more full. You could put them down lower instead of up as high as I have them. But I think adding the brown in the center, you could even go back and add another round of brown just to make it darker. But I really like them. I like them even more than the Copycat ones. The original ones that I got. That was the Hobby Lobby brand. Paper Studio. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Let me know if you have any specific flowers you would like to see. And tag me over on Facebook if you create some. I would love to see what you make. So, until next time, bye y'all.